Imagine a world where you can invest like buying books online. Simple, secure, efficient. Imagine yourself you would buy a house. You would have the buyer, the seller, the bank of the buyer, the bank of the seller, notary, a land registry, maybe a few others. Imagine yourself you would put all these persons into one room. And everybody would do his job and his duty. You could transact a house in 10 minutes. Now imagine a world where you will be able to invest into things which are dear to you. For example, sustainable investments. Investments which meets your purpose, your belief system. Or another example could be that you invest into crops, you invest into land, you invest into dimensions that have been not really easy accessible, and somehow as well, if accessible, only for a few, because the whole investment process was very burdensome. Investments or asset classes that have not been very easy to access are accessible. Like for example, you can invest into the future in a farm somewhere in South Asia or in Africa or in South America. Having said that, clients, newer generation, have a different appetite, are digital natives who are looking more for a convenient way, pretty much as well a gamification to access any kind of services that they're looking for. These days we have in our traditional conventional environment a very much product-driven approach. So we are creating products and offering them to clients. It's basically you shoot with a shotgun and try to find out if something hits. Today the financial service industry, specifically the investment fund industry, is organized around silos, from issuing an asset to distributing it. You have banks, custodians, investment managers, and at the end of the day, the investors. So it is organized around silos, and to reconcile between the silos is very burdensome. That means to invest also small fractions into, for example, those investments like non-fungible assets or investments which meet your purpose are for an individual very expensive. Imagine a stock. You have a corporate issuing a stock, a bank is helping them to issue it. At the end of the day, you have an exchange to circulate it. You have somewhere a custody bank to store them, and then an investment manager to invest and until it ends up into the investors. We call that as a kind of a really centralized, silo-based environment. And let me give you an example. Millennials, young people, but as well people who are not really ready to go to a bank, open an account, go to a fund, an asset manager, select things. It's very burdensome. So I think we need to cater for those clients that at the moment are not really part of that financial service environment. New technologies will help us to better understand and to better cater for the client needs of our future client segments that we can approach right now in a more efficient, simple, secure way. We have seen those kind of digital transformation and innovation in other industries, comparable travel industry, social media, telecommunication, commercials, online shopping in the last 15, 20 years. I think it is just about time right now they arrive finally in a maturity where they can be adapted to the financial service environment. Artificial intelligence, big data, and specifically also blockchain, DLT, the distributed ledger technologies, it can support, also enforce our operational setup, but as well how we communicate with our clients and also how we cater for their needs. These technologies will help organizations not only to better understand their clients, but as well to find new means to communicate with their clients. At the same time, to create also products based on the understanding of the client needs, which are based on insights gained through those technologies. On the operational side, it helps organizations to be more efficient, somehow to create a better client experience, but as well for organizations gain productivity. A reason why they have not been adapted to that extent is security and trust. The financial service environment is a very sensitive environment, which is very much regulated. So in order technologies to be adapted to this kind of environment, it needs to meet higher requirements than in other industries. The obstacle is a lot of incumbent players are waiting until one steps in as a pioneer, as the first mover, and then the follow. The financial services organizations are very prudent in doing something very innovative. If you don't continuously innovate, you risk to become irrelevant in a couple of years. If you look at the history of Universal Investments, we have grown actually based on innovation. Innovation is system immanent for us in order to cater for the future and as well to meet the needs of our clients. We are investing into fintechs and we are also buying fintechs. Last year we have bought a fintech called CapInsight, 2 years ago called UI Labs, and recently in December we have created an entity called UI Enlight, which is fully focused on digital assets. Digital assets are a digital representation of anything of value which are stored and issued on the blockchain. They are fully leveraging on the technology, so the cryptographic features, basically at the end of the day, it's a line of code which is called smart contract, which represent at the end of the day the stored value. So with that technology, basically you can have a digital representation of anything of value. Examples for digital assets is tokenization. It means creating a digital representation of a commodity like a real estate, gold on the blockchain, which makes them more fungible and tradable. Other examples that we see in recent days are arts, but as well kindergarten, football clubs, up to forests. So everything of a value can be tokenized and offered through our UI Enlight platform to investors. Well, the vision of UI Enlight is an end-to-end white label solution that offers for our B2B clients a full-fledged one-stop shop similar to our traditional conventional environment, but leveraging on this new paradigm shift, fully fledged on the blockchain DLT technology. So reaping all the benefits of that technology, but as well allowing them to offer new kind of investment products to this new client segment that I was talking earlier about. So that means for them is to enter into new client segments, to offer new kind of services and products. Like I said, it could be basically anything that can be digitalized and put on the blockchain, from kindergarten, football clubs, forests, you name it. And from that perspective, it is a new kind of product offering for new client segments and with a new setup of full-fledged operational efficiency. Our midterm goal is to create digital funds. Digital funds are a digital fund wrapper which is including or consists out of digital assets, which gives the clients and the investors the possibility to have a diversification in their investments instead of have only one single investment into one kind of asset class. On the product side, for example, we are working very much on creating new products and services. One example is we are very much focusing on ESG. One of the most advanced projects that we have at the moment is about creating news-based ESG factors that gives clients the information about the ESG exposure, sustainability exposure of a corporate, of a company, of an investment well advanced before it hits the news. So as a consequence, we will move into a more connected world and more inclusive world. That means a farmer somewhere in South Asia, Africa, or South America can offer their products directly by issuing their investments or their crops and their products on the blockchain. And at the other side of the world, everyone can invest into them directly, basically like peer-to-peer. So from that perspective, we are a one-stop shop that offers everything what is across the whole dimension of administrating a fund from A to Z. If we look at the overall assets that we have under administration, we are pretty much around 700 billion right now globally, where we have locations in Germany, Luxembourg. For example, in Luxembourg, we are one of the largest mancos in the market. In Germany, we are the largest investment management company. And we have opened up in Ireland a footprint right now. And we have also a subsidiary in Krakow to foster our operational efficiency. So that's in a nutshell a little bit about Universal Investment.